Hi everyone, I wanted to show you a quick tutorial of how to access the Davidson-Davie Community College databases. Anytime you have to conduct research, whether it's for an English class or any other class that you may have, if you are having to conduct research, instead of going online into the internet where sometimes, not all the information out there is factual information, if you go to the databases that you have access to, you're sure to find credible, scholarly, academic articles that will help support you in whatever it is you're researching. So for the literary analysis, you have to have two sources. You have to have the short story that you chose to write about from the choices, and then you have to have at least one credible, academic, scholarly article that provides literary criticism of that short story and the topics that you are discussing in that short story, which is going to be whatever literary terms you choose. So let's look to see how we find these databases. If you click on the Davidson-Davie Community College homepage and then go up to Current Students, click there and then click on under Student Resources, Library. All right, here where it says A to Z databases, if you click here, it'll give you 148 databases. Now, you can use any of these databases that you want to for most of your classes, but for the purpose of English, you could use Gale Academic One File is a good one. It's kind of a generic database. There's another one right here. If you're writing an argumentative essay of any kind in the future, you could write and use Opposing Viewpoints. It provides just controversial articles about controversial issues. But the one I want you to use for literary criticism is if you scroll down to the J's, and it's going to be this one right here, JSTOR. Okay, there's a collection of full text articles on literature, history, music, folklore, and humanities. So this is the best place to find some literary criticism. So you'll click there. Now I'm already signed in because I've been in this database here in my office, but it will ask you off campus to use your username and password to sign in to get into the databases. So put that in, and then this is what comes up. Then whatever short story you have chosen, you have to make sure you get your outline in your head or written down on a piece of paper. Follow the outline guide that I gave you to determine what 3 literary devices you're going to use and discuss in your paper to analyze that short story that you chose. So if we're using the example, which is the lottery, and again, the lottery is not one of your choices to write about. It's only used as an example for this unit. So let's just say I was writing about The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. And I don't know where to start here. I don't know what to write here. Specifically, or generically, I guess I could say, I'll just type in the short story and the author. Okay, The Lottery by Shirley Jackson, just to see what comes up. And again, you have to have your outline completed first before you can actually determine what research would help support your main points. You have to know your main points first. So looking through here, I'm not going to get a very in-depth idea if any of these would fit my outline. But if I'm writing about theme, okay, well, this one, look at the title. It says A Faithful Anatomy of Our Times, basically kind of discussing, what humanity is like, basically. And that's what Shirley Jackson was delivering as far as her message when she talks about basically how people tend to, avoid straying from tradition, even if it's unethical. They just don't want to change. So that may be a good one, just looking at it. Now, if I click on it, I may look through it and not find anything in it. So, you could look through here just to see if anything jumps out at you. If not, then you can certainly go back to the search box and then type in something specific. Like, what if I'm writing about symbols? So, symbols in Shirley Jackson's The Lottery. Let's see if something specific comes up. Okay. Let's see. The lottery, symbolic tour de force. So I'm not sure what that would be about, but it does mention symbolism in some way, so that may be something to look at. Let's see. Coming to consciousness, the marketplace. See, a lot of these don't directly relate to the lottery, and you don't want to find a source that doesn't relate to your story. So that didn't seem like it worked too well, so we may have to just play around again with the search terms, maybe theme in the lottery, Shirley Jackson. I like to put the name in there with the title because otherwise there may be other stories, books, or movies that share the same title, and you'd have to kind of pilfer through those particular articles as well. Some of the same things come up. Female power comes up. The lottery and its impact. I mean, there may be some really good information in here that may be specific to theme. It could be symbolism, it could be irony, and honestly, after looking through the articles, if you're not able to find anything to support any of your points, then you may want to see what information is offered and what points they discuss. It might, make you change your mind on some of your points of discussion. So you could play around with this here. Let's just say you found a really good article, or you thought you did anyway. Let's see, I'm going to click on, let me do the lottery and its impact, okay? And I'm going to need to read through the article. I'm going to need to figure out if it supports any of my points, see what quotes I might want to use, if I want to use any, and you may read through and not find anything. And you might have to kind of start all over with your search terms. So let's just say you find something that fits, and you need to make sure that you keep an account of this article in the database so that you don't lose it. So you can download it here, save it to your computer if you want to. You can share it. A lot of times you can share it to either social media or you can share it to your email. But the big thing is right here is if you use these databases, that they cite the information for you. So if you click Cite here, and we're working in MLA for this first essay, first and second essay. So here is the MLA citation. So just click Copy, and that'll be what you copy and paste to your works cited page for that source. And then, of course, you look at what's listed first in the citation to determine how to cite this source within the essay when you use quotes from it. And in this case, it'll be the author's last names, Freemuth and Jameson. And then you have a specific page number of this page range that you would include within your essay. So it cites it for you here. So it's a no-brainer when it comes to documenting here. And then, of course, page numbers are listed here. Since this is PDF, you can see a PDF version actually looks like a book that has been copied on a copier. So you do have access to page numbers. But there are some databases that will only give you HTML views, which looks like just a website view, and there won't be page numbers for that. So I just wanted to kind of give you a little tutorial to show you how to find articles. There may be other databases here in, let me go back to the original, the A to Z databases. If you look through here, you may end up finding other databases that might support a search for literary criticism. And you could definitely go to the Gale Academic One file. You could click there as well, and the same type of process applies. You'll click on it. It'll usually ask you to log in. I've already logged in. So if I wanted to type in Symbols in the Lottery by Shirley Jackson to see what comes up, I can click that, and there will be different types of articles that'll come up. So there's tons already in here. So you could kind of click on these and see what they have to offer and see if they match up to any of your main points of your essay. And again, they have this cite tool. So if I click on, let's just say this one. If I click on this one, let's just say I found something really good, which there's nothing really in this one. This is basically, I guess, just a summary of one of her, the lottery, I guess, or some of her stories. But anyway, if it's something that you could use, you could certainly go right here, MLA 9th edition. You want to use the most recent. Not all databases will have the most updated. It may be 6th or 7th or 8th edition. That's fine as long as it's MLA. And all you have to do again is copy and paste that to your works cited page. Okay, so that's a general overview of how to access the databases. And then specifically for your literary analysis, you want to make sure that whatever article you choose, and it just has to be one other article, because you already have your short story that you're going to use quotes from that support your points. You're going to give examples of symbols used in the story. You're going to give examples of irony used in the story, or whatever literary devices you've chosen to discuss. But your articles are going to have to be, you're going to have to dig a little. You're going to have to take some time for this. You're going to have to look and see what articles support your short story and support your main points. And it may only be one main point that you find an article for. That's perfectly fine. If you have any questions about how to use the databases, or if you've found a sufficient article, you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.